Welcome to the Agency Site User Guide step-by-step tutorial series. During this tutorial, we're going to cover step 4 of your site user guide, creating offers and advertisements. Let's get started. How do you solicit for an intern? Well, the old way, which you're very familiar with, was we would send you an email from the field office with a SurveyMonkey link. You'd fill that out. We would export it into an aggregate form. We'd send that list to our web guru. They would update the website. And then finally, the student could go to the CHS website and peruse a bunch of different opportunities. Convoluted, but it worked for the time. Now we want to introduce to you the Sonia way of soliciting for interns. And you could do that 3 different ways. 1, through offers, 2, through advertisements, and 3, through passive approval, which sounds weird, but we'll talk about it further. The most obvious way to solicit for an intern is probably through the offers feature, and that's mostly because when you log into Sonia, you're going to see that as one of the main tabs. However, we would not recommend offers as a best practice. We would actually recommend advertisements, which we'll talk about a little later. However, creating an offer will indicate to the field education office a few things. The semester in which you want to take on student interns. However, the date range will not auto-populate to the semester. You will have to know the semester dates, how many students you're willing to take on during that semester, and the approximate shift the student will work. An offer is generic and will advertise your internship opportunity widely to all students, graduate and undergraduate. There's not a lot of specificity when using the offers feature, but it can be useful if you don't want to keep changing your internship opportunities. However, you're not really cutting out that middleman because the field office has to manually place your agency as an opportunity to each semester and cohort. So like I said before, offers not really recommended, but it's another tool in your tool belt. Okay, let's see what creating an offer looks like. I'm here at the Nevada Public Health Training Center on my homepage in Sonia, logged in already. So all I have to do with offers, and that's why it's so easy, and I thought maybe I should go over it because you're going to see this offers tab right here, and you're going to wonder what it is. So go ahead and click on offers. And you can see there's nothing really here. If you want to create an offer, you have to click this plus create sign. And then you get this. You can see there is a description box. Students don't really see what you put in this box, though. It's strictly for communication with the field office, which is why we don't really recommend this particular feature. But you can put in here, we want students this semester. I'm going to keep it generic. And then if I had a subsite, I would see a bunch of different subsites here. We don't. It's Nevada Public Health Training Center. And you can see here the date range is basically the semester. Now, the problem with this is you might not know the date range of the semester. So you either have to go to the UNR academic calendar or use your best judgment based on the calendar for undergraduate or graduate that is in your site user guide. So I want a fall student, and I just know that the semester is generally around the end of August to the beginning of December. And I want 1 student, and you know what? We might do some weekend hours. The student might work from home a little bit, and then we'd do regular business hours. So I'm actually going to put hours vary instead. And then you can save it, and that goes to the field office, and then the field office has to approve it, and then they manually place this offer in a particular semester. So that's basically how you create an offer. The preferred method on soliciting for internships is the advertisements feature. An advertisement is similar to creating an offer. Similarities include specifying the date range and number of students the site wants to take. However, there are some distinct differences that might make you want to choose advertisements over offers, such as maybe you want to specify what kind of student you want. Maybe you want an undergraduate student as opposed to a graduate student, or vice versa. You want to advertise a specific internship opportunity through an attached document for students to view. Or maybe you want to specify preference dates of when you'll be conducting interviews. Keep in mind the field office will indicate and send email communication when the advertisement window is open for a specified course. This will be indicated under Advertisements under your Placements tab. The cool thing about advertisements, though, no middleman, no approval needed. It is automatically viewable by students once you have created the advertisement. Let's see what that looks like. As you can see here, creating an advertisement is not as obvious as creating an offer, because offers is right on your homepage. You can see it as a tab. You're going to find creating advertisements under the Placements tab. So let's go ahead and expand this, and let's click on Placements. So now you can see here under Advertisements that we are soliciting for 2019 fall undergraduate internships. All the guesswork is taken out of it. You know exactly what date range the semester is, and you know exactly when the date range is this advertisement window is open. And we do this on purpose because we want this we want you to have the ability to advertise way before students even get into Sonia, number one. And number two, we want you to know that probably by September 13th is the D-Day, the deadline for when students have to have their internship identified. Otherwise, they have to drop the course. So we want to make sure that when you're soliciting for interns, it is before that deadline. So let's see what that looks like. We're going to click this green advertisement button because we want to advertise an internship opportunity through the Nevada Public Health Training Center. So it looks a little bit different than the offers page, right? You could see here, again, the semester date range. There's a drop-down menu in the event. Maybe you have some subsites. Nevada Public Health Training Center doesn't. And then you could see the date range of the semester auto-populates. Let's talk about preference options here. So preference options means this is when you want students to see your advertisement. So this is you taking control of when students see this internship opportunity. Maybe you only want them to see this internship opportunity during July 1st through July 15th because that's when you're going to do interviews as well. We recommend you keep this blank. And that is because if you do, say, July 1st through July 15th, that means if students, your proactive students that maybe are looking for an internship in June and May, won't see that internship opportunity, but they will see other internship opportunities. So they might go to a different agency and you kind of missed your chance of getting a really amazing student. So we suggest you keep it open or blank, if you will. But if you want to, you can specify when you want your internship opportunity to be seen by students. And again, you can choose shift. So hours vary. Just like when we create an offer, I'm going to say I want one student. And here you have a comments box. The comment box is for internal use only, meaning this is communication between you and the field office. The student doesn't see what you put in this comment box. So I'm going to put here, we want your best epi students. Like I said, students won't see this comment, just the field office. Because, chances are we know our students pretty well, and we know which epi students are looking for an internship. And so if I have a student coming my way asking me about recommendations for internship sites, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, Nevada Public Health Training Center. They said they wanted an epi-focused student, and I know the student is amazing. So I'm going to make the recommendation of contacting them, type of thing. Now, this comment box, please indicate site-specific information for the students to view. So this is where you can write information that the student will view when soliciting for internships. And this is a great spot for you to indicate maybe an agency mission or inclusionary or disclusionary preferences, which means Is there something specific? Like I said, I wanted an epi focused student. And maybe I want somebody who's bilingual Spanish English. We're going to be creating surveys and we need them to be in both English and Spanish. So it'd be amazing if I had a student that was bilingual. So I could say bilingual Spanish English preferred. Bilingual Spanish English and epi focused preferred. So students are going to see this. And then I'm going to attach an internship opportunity here in a separate Word document. So you just browse your computer, brings up information, find it, upload it, and then press create advertisement. Once you press this create advertisement, it automatically populates into that semester and is automatically viewable by the student, no middleman. And I'll show you what they see. Okay, I submitted my advertisement and I want to go back to the placements tab here. So you'll see that things look a little bit different now. I have another option under placement requests. So this right down here is actually the solicitation that I just submitted. A couple things I want to point out. One, under requested, you'll see 1 and you'll see 0 allocated out of 1 confirmed. So that means you have 0 students out of 1 confirmed placement. Now, once you have a student, that will change to 1 allocated out of 1 confirmed. If you want to change some of the details of your advertisement, you can click on this red details magnifying glass button. And yeah, you can see exactly what I put in here. Preferred students who are bilingual English-Spanish and have an epi focus. I uploaded here it's an example, but I uploaded my internship posting here, the site contacts there, and then you could see here unallocated. So you could just see a bunch of information here. So that's something that changed. And then the other thing that you can do now is you can start scheduling interviews for this internship opportunity, which we're going to cover in a different module. Okay, we have switched over to the student perspective. So once you submit an advertisement, what do they see exactly? So they will see under their placements page a list of internship sites that are soliciting students for their particular enrolled semester. So you can see here, Nevada Public Health Training Center, I told you it automatically populates. I'm asking for 1 placement. And you can see here hours vary. They can map the distance through Google Maps. They can select it and rank order their top choices. They'll see all the contact information. They'll see the attributes to which they can filter by if they're looking for a particular type of internship site. And then you can see here, this is what I wrote into the inclusionary, exclusionary preference box here. Preferred students who are bilingual English-Spanish and have an epi focus. And the document that I uploaded, which is basically the internship posting. So this is what students will see from their perspective. Your third option for soliciting for internships is through passive approving. So really it's not soliciting at all. We do have sites that are considered quote unquote old faithfuls, meaning you take on students every single semester. You never really change your opportunity on the website, and students kind of just know that you're going to have at least a couple spots there for them every single semester. And we really appreciate the fact that you do that. Which means if we do not hear from you through an advertisement or an offer, what we'll do is we will automatically drop you into what we call a placement group or semester. And all you have to do is tick a box that says confirm or deny. Simple as that. Let's see what that looks like. So to passively agree to taking a student a certain semester, what happens is the field office made this request and you're just either confirming or rejecting this request. And you'll see this under your placements tab in Sonia, and you can see under the header placement requests, there is 1 requested student for the fall semester. You see a lot of similar information: date range of the semester, manage interview dates. So these are the suggested dates to which you should complete all your student interviews. interviews, and the field office is requesting at least one intern for the fall semester. So you can confirm it. It auto-populates that one, so you're confirming that one. So you just click confirm, or you can write me a small note and press confirm. Or you can say, actually, we have tons of work. We want to take 4 interns. And you could write a comment, have tons of, press confirm, and you have 4 spots that are available for students to take during the fall semester, certain semesters, such as legislative session, which means you probably don't want a student for the fall semester. Then you would just reject it, and you are no longer an option for students in terms of internship. Now that we've gone through all the ways in which you can solicit an intern, 1, offers, 2, through advertisements, or 3, by passively approving an internship, let's talk about timelines. The UNR academic calendar. So where can you find that online is you can go to this URL right here. That way you can find hard dates in terms of beginning of semesters, midterms, holidays, end of semesters, all of that. But in general, here's a good timeline for each semester. So fall, last week of August through the second week of December, spring, second to last week of January through the second week of May, and summer, the second to last week of May through the second week of August. And that's true for all of our types of students, graduate and undergraduate. I will make the caveat that our in-person MPH students only during the summer, and we'll talk more about timelines. To find the date ranges of the semesters, go to the university academic calendar and click on the semester and year you want to see the timeline for. I provided the URL for you here. But in general, the semesters go like this. So the fall semester is about the last week of August through the second week of December. The spring semester is the second to last week of January through the second week of May. And summer is the second to last week of May through the second week of August. And that's true for undergraduate and graduate students. Although I will make the caveat that our in-person MPH students tend to do their internships over the summer semester only. So if you want an in-person MPH student, you have to make sure you're prepared for that particular semester. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So this is the undergraduate semester timeline. Now, I'm going to stop it here. So let's talk about specifics when it comes to the undergraduate timeline per semester. And we're trying to back up the timeline almost 2 months before the internship actually begins so that you as a preceptor can make sure that your internship opportunity is adequately advertised. The student has plenty of time to solidify their internship, and when the semester actually starts, they can hit the ground running. So this only starts 4 weeks before, which is a month before the internship actually begins. But I would say 2 months before the internship begins, I would and you should see the opportunity to advertise in Sonia to solicit for those internships. And then 4 weeks before the internship begins, the students will be prompted to start looking for their internships. 2 weeks before, up until 1 week after the internship begins or the semester begins, is the date range in which we suggest you conduct agency interviews. And that is because the student has to have their internship identified matter-of-factly by that second week after the internship begins. Otherwise, they'll be asked to drop the course. So just letting you know how important that date range is. And then the internship begins. We actually don't allow the interns to start their internships until they have all of their student compliance forms signed and turned in, which is the student agreement. They have to do the orientation, they have to do a quiz, and they have to sign a student waiver. And they also have to tell us where their internship's at, and they have to complete a project management plan. So they have to do all of that before they can even begin their internship. So I wouldn't expect them to start their internship day 1 of that semester. Give yourself a little bit of time before they actually start completing hours. And then at the midterm, they should have completed about 50 hours. And at the end of their internship, undergraduate students should have completed 100 hours. The Master of Public Health, or MPH, grad student semester is a little bit more involved in that we start soliciting for internships from the sites as early as 4 to 6 months before the semester actually begins. And then 12 weeks before the internship begins is when we prompt our students to actually start looking actively for internships. That also is around the time period in which we suggest you conduct agency interviews. 8 weeks before the internship begins is when we really start preparing for students to begin their internships, such as orientation training, signing compliance forms, organizing contract meetings, and then the actual internship will begin. And our MPH students actually have to complete 200 hours as opposed to the 100 hours our undergraduate students have to complete. So at their midterm, they should have completed 100 hours, and at the completion of their internship, they will have completed 200 hours. So that is step 4 in a nutshell on how to solicit for interns through offers and advertisements. For more information, please see your site user guide.